You already know who it is. I'm back. Um, like I said before, one of my videos, I want to start getting more into. I homeschool, and I want to start getting more into, the metaphysical aspect. And one of the things I learned in doing this is that even though there are a lot of people that homeschool, it's not many people who um, talk about the metaphysical aspect of raising a child. Um, or without, I should say, no, there are people who have ways of raising a child according to their beliefs, but they're constricted to their particular beliefs. I particularly like to leave myself open to whatever I can use to help me. So, one of the things we do have to do is discipline our children. Um, Coming from Islamic slash Christian background as a child, one of the things we've been told is, and just the so-called African American background as a child, one of the things that we have been taught is to beat them. Beat them, beat them, beat them. Spare the rod, spoil the child. I don't blame my parents, but they didn't study. They didn't study enough to know that spare the rod, spoil the child does not mean an actual rod whipping. It actually means when you don't give them knowledge, you make them good for nothing. But they didn't know that at the time, so they went literally what the Bible said, and that's what they did. And I'm not gonna say it didn't work. I'm here today. I'm not in jail. I'm not a crackhead. Not a lot of things that for me I find disagreeable to me. For other people, everybody needs to call certain situations in life that's good for them. For me, that's disagreeable to me. That won't help me. So I'm not that. Um, but with that being said, one of the ways that I have found, and I actually found this out through watching my child um, and disciplining them, is to use stones. Yes, actual stones. Three stones in particular. Okay, let me tell you. One of my sons, my middle child, my little Bam Bam, we call him Bam Bam. But my middle child, my little Bam Bam, um, he when feels he gets to this mood where he just feels we could look at him, he just feels like he's just not having a good day. He don't like it. He's just annoyed. He will go in our room, in our box, and he will grab um, the black tourmaline. I don't know if you can see that. I'm sorry it's a little dark in here. It's raining outside. I want to do these videos outside, but Mother Nature said, yeah, whatever. So it's raining outside, and in my living room, it's only natural lighting. I do that for a reason. I only want natural lighting in my living room, but it's only natural lighting, so got to use what we can get. So hopefully you can see this. Uh, it's black tourmaline. He will go and grab the stone and just hold it in one hand for a few minutes. And I do mean a few minutes, not just a couple seconds. He literally stands there, holds it. And then he goes and grabs the citrine. He goes and grabs the citrine. And he'll hold that for a few minutes. And sometimes he'll hold one in one hand, the other in the other. And sometimes he places the citrine naturally. I have not told them about chakras yet. He'll naturally place the citrine over his solar plexus chakra, or for those that don't know, is the chakra a little bit above the navel. It's really your power chakra, your will chakra, your solar chakra, the one that gets you like really going and doing stuff. I don't want to get into chakras in this video, but he does this naturally. Didn't teach him. He didn't even know what the stones was. He just grabbed them and used them. Um, One person told me that the kids these days that are being born are coming down with old information. Most of them are like old. Some of them are new souls. Most of them are like old souls, and they already know without you having to tell them. And I can honestly say, I can attest to that. My kids know some of the stuff without me having to say it to them. But anyway, he grabbed a stone and put it over his solar chakra, and he just held it on the other hand. He held, like one was over solar chakra, so one's like here, and the other one a hand like this. Actually, he would hold it like this, leaving a little bit out of his hand like that. This is what he did, leaving a little bit out. His hands are small, so he can stick it out like that. So of course he's 5. His hands are small. He'll stick it out. He'll just do like that, and then after he does that, he may do it for about the longest I've seen him do it for was 10 minutes. And then after that, the rest of his day is fine. A couple of days out of the line is fine. And when he feels need to do it again, he does it again. So I took my cue from him. And I also added in smoky quartz. Um, my Bam Bam, he doesn't use smoky quartz too much. But he will use the black tourmaline. My other two, they prefer smoky quartz. So with that, what I realized when it's little stuff, they're arguing, they're bickering, they're just whiny. They've been up too long without a nap, and we've been doing a lot that day. Just giving them tourmaline to hold, and then the and the citrine to hold, or giving them the smoky quartz to hold, and then giving them the citrine to hold, changes the rest of their day, changes their emotions immediately. Now, the other two don't do it as long as 10 minutes. They may do it for 3 to 5 minutes. But still, that little bit of time changes the whole energy of them. And I found that works great than always having to send them to their room or punish them or having a long talk while you shouldn't be fighting with your brother and blah, 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 blah. Just having them hold, it changes their whole energy. And they're like, for lack of a better word, angels. And, this is something I learned from my child to do this. I just watch. There's a lot of times we have questions on what to do. And one of the things I want to do, I never want to be one of the parents that use that whip for the answer to every freaking thing. It had its time and its purpose and its place. In my house, that's not a lot of my friends joke at me and say that I'm a quote unquote white parent because I let my kids get away with a lot. But there's certain things I don't feel as though it's worth, whooping them for. Not saying that I won't tap it if they need it, but it's in my household. That's the last resort, never the first, not even the second or the third. I mean the absolutely last resort. So you can see how much it actually happens. I may threaten them, say they're gonna get it, but it don't really happen that much. But anyway, back on topic, the stones. Try it. Black tourmaline. It gets rid of negative energy. His whole sole job is getting rid of negative energy. Has some other things, but negative energy. This is also a good stone to hold if someone or that old saying, your ears is burning, someone's talking about you, you just feel somebody talking about you, you can just feel that negative energy. Hold that stone, send the energy right on back. Just hold that stone and just release the energy back to wherever it's coming from. Perfect stone for it. What ain't nothing to say about that? Perfect stone for it. Smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is also good for negative energy. I can't remember if tourmaline is a quartz. I think tourmaline is quartz, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. Smoky quartz though. Smoky quartz is also good for removing negative energy. The reason why I like it though is because quartz crystal by itself is an amplifier. And not only is quartz crystal by itself just a quartz crystal an amplifier, it also bridges that connection between the physical and the spiritual. So this stone to me is really good if the reason why you're negative is because there are spiritual energies around you that are causing that issue, or conflicting with your higher self. And I'll do another video for higher self. I'm gonna end up doing a lot of videos, but I'll do another video about the higher self. But if spiritual energies are conflicting with that, hold this stone and it absorbs all the negative energy and clears up energies you can't see, whatever. Also, if someone's talking about you, I wouldn't suggest using the stone to send that energy back, but I would suggest holding the stone to absorb the energy. If you want to send it back, bam, like tourmaline. But if you just want to absorb it and you're not really into that stuff, I'm in the karma. You reap what you sow. You sow to me, I don't like it, bam. But and even when I was deep into Christianity, I was a big believer in reaping what you sow, karma, whatever. What you put out won't come back to you, period. I just may, do some things to hurry it along. But anyway, off the topic. This is, if you don't feel comfortable, you into that whole quote unquote love. And the reason I say quote unquote love is I just did a video of what love really means. But you're into that whole light and love stuff, don't want to do it, just hold this in your hand and it'll absorb the negative energy. Sorry, my phone went off and my babies are out my other half. So I want to make sure it wasn't just them and that they're okay. Which it wasn't, so that means it could wait. Next stone, citrine stone. The citrine stone I come to love. And the reason why is because I think I was never really a big fan of citrine stone. When I saw it, I had to have it. A lot of times when you go get stones, Maybe a stone that's calling to you, but when you get home, you like, why did I even buy it? Don't feel bad about your purchase. That means you was meant to purchase it, but you purchased it for someone else. Or if you found it, that means you were meant to find it, and you means you was meant to find it, but it wasn't meant for you. It was meant to go through you to someone else. And I realized this stone was meant to go through me to my kids. But in researching it, I found out that I love the stone. It became more precious to me. Citrine is supposedly one of the stones that never needs to be cleaned. Um, Now, I also say it needs to be clean, but I understand the meaning behind it. How citrine happens is it is quartz. I'm sorry, I'm holding it down here so I can't see it. It is quartz, but it's heated quartz. Some are heated naturally, some are not. Um, from my research, if it's yellow to like a dark yellow, as long as it's a shade of yellow, not really brown, then it's heated naturally from the sun, from wherever it was sitting at when they, you know, chipped it, collected, whatever. If it's dark, like a really dark amber, which this one, I'd say I may be getting a new webcam soon, or I may just stop being lazy and use my actual camera, because I got a good camera. I might just stop being lazy and use that, but whatever. Um, there we go. This one, it's like Yellowstone. This one's natural. I have another one. I should have grabbed that one so you can see the difference. I don't think that one was naturally done, but this one, the one that my children actually use, is a natural citrine. Whether natural or not, though, citrine is still great to have because it is naturally quartz, and what it is nothing but heat. Whether wherever it's sitting at sunlight, but whatever it's sitting at that turns this part yellow, and even if it's not naturally done by the sun, it's still heated by some type of fire. And my major element is fire. Everybody has all four elements, but one normally has one that's prevalent or the majority. Majority of mine is fire. So when I found out that citrine is made through fire, whether it be natural or man altered or man using fire on a stone, it still, you know, has the fire element in it. So with that, I've learned to love the stone. Um, but anyway, this re-energizes. This keeps away the negative energy. This recharges you. Um, And the reason why I said to recharge you because it has the fire element, and that's one of the things the fire does. The fire is connected to the will, it's connected to the solar plexus, it's connected to the sign Leo, which is also the will, it's connected to the sun, which is to give you the energy to keep going, which is one of the reasons why they say citrine does not need to be recharged because it's naturally charged. Um, I still say it needs to be not necessarily charged, but I still say for some time would be good to cleanse it. But anyway, this is a great stone to have, and it has worked for my children. Um, if these three stones don't actually work for yours, find out what stones are. Take them to the store and let them pick their own. You don't have to describe them, this is that. Just see what they naturally pick up, especially if they're too young to understand. Mine aren't too young to understand. Well, one is, but the other two are too young to understand. But I like to see what naturally they want, and if it's in budget, they got it. Especially when it comes to stones and stuff, and see what they need for their life. If it's in budget, they got it. But yeah, these three stones I found is great in aiding me in disciplining my children without having to resort to the old ways all the freaking time. So I just wanted to share that with you so y'all could try it. Again, it's black tourmaline, smoky quartz, and then to re-energize, because they took out negative energy, so that's put in. So to re-energize positive energy, because that's the other thing. Citrine does not hold negative energy. It holds nothing. Well, for some of y'all out there who's really into science, you actually know negative is positive, positive is negative. But so I'm gonna stop saying negative, positive. I think it's better to say agreeable and disagreeable. So citrine is actually good for rejuvenating agreeable energy as opposed to disagreeable energy. Yeah, that's a better way of explaining it. So, even for you, if you just feel like you're having a stank day, grab one of those stones that'll clear it. And then once that's cleared out, replace it with some good energy. You don't have to, if you want just good old general energy, use citrine. If you want other type of energies, like a lot of times I don't use citrine and I don't have the stone that I use. But the stone that I use is spirit quartz. I am in love with that. Is my most favorite. Well, the quartz family period is my favorite family, but the spirit quartz is my most favorite stone. I have a personal connection with the spirit quartz and Nirvana quartz lately, but for the most part, spirit quartz. So I'm rambling. This video is much longer than it needs to be. Anyway, yeah, use these three stones in combination, and just watch how the energies change kids. If these, I'm pretty much sure that these three stones work in general for anybody. If everybody's made differently, so if it doesn't resonate with you or your family, find the three stones that does and try it. It helps when, and then one of the great things is to get your child involved in it. So now, as opposed to punish them, they feel as though they're doing something for yourself. Ask them, are you having a bad day? Show them that they have power and control of themselves. Why don't you change that? Give them the stones to hold it. If they already explain the stones, give them the stones to hold it, change it, and see how it changed. Or don't tell them, or just have them hold the stones and sit there for a second, meditate for a second, think for a second, and then ask them how the rest of their day went. Have them take the smaller ones in school in their pocket, and when things happen, pull it out, hold it. If they take it to school, I would suggest that you put it in a red pouch. Red is the lowest chakra. Red is one of the colors that does not take in a lot of energy because it vibrates slow, so it takes a long time to take your energy. So to protect the crystals from picking up energy of just everybody, put it in a red pouch for them. Let them take it to school. Pull out the pouch holder they need to put it back in the pouch. Make sure you tell them, do not let anybody else use it. If they do let one of their friends use it, let the friends put it back in the pouch. Do not use it again until it's cleansed. Just had to say that. Other than that, yeah, for this video, that's it. Peace.